Hello and welcome to the demo of our brand new HiveManager 6.0. As well as a completely redesigned, customizable dashboard with nearly 100 new widgets to choose from and support for our brand new SR series switches, HiveManager 6.0 also brings other exciting features like Google Maps integration, updated classifier tags for customized configurations, and new functionality to view analytics and statistics about network and application usage across the Aerohive deployment. When combined with Aerohive HiveOS devices, these features provide the context-based control and visibility required to optimize mobility and to support a mobile-first enterprise. So let's log in. And we'll start with the brand new HTML5 enabled dashboard. This new customizable dashboard makes it easy for the IT administrator to monitor, visualize, and manage an entire Aerohive deployment. New to the dashboard is the concept of perspectives, which allow you to see the network from different angles based on what's important to you. Out of the box, 4 perspectives are pre-created based on commonly used information, such as network summary, system summary, troubleshooting information, and application usage. You may keep these or delete them to redesign them based on what is interesting to you. Once you've designed your perspective or perspectives, a really fantastic new feature of HiveManager 6.0 are this series of filters down the left-hand side of the dashboard. These filters are pre-created based on context already used throughout HiveManager, such as the topology maps, to which devices are assigned, the network policies that you've created, or customizable classifier tags that allow you to place any set of devices into a single group. Once you've selected the group of devices you want to view, you can further filter the information based on policy elements such as an SSID or a user profile. For example, if you want to see the network usage statistics of all of your contractors across your organization, you could click here and the dashboard will be redrawn with that specific information for the contractors. And this can be across your entire deployment of Aerohive devices, or it can be filtered on any of these specific groups of devices. From an applications perspective, it's easy to see at a glance what the top applications are in terms of usage, what % of your bandwidth they're using, and who the top users of the application are. Now let's examine how you could use this information. Take, for example, a typical requirement to understand BYOD usage trends across the network. While supporting BYOD has become somewhat of a forced hand as more and more consumer devices show up on the network, it is important to ensure that these devices are used for productive work on the network, or at the very least, do not impact your mission-critical applications. For example, if your users report that they are having trouble accessing a business-critical application like Salesforce, you can log into the dashboard and see that YouTube is taking up a large portion of your network bandwidth. Now let's drill down to see how it's being used and by whom. Just click on the application and you will get details on who the user is and what user profile they belong to. So I can see here that my top user is Charlie Chaplin. And if I click on his name, I can then see that he is a member of the employees group, and here are all of the applications that he is using, and this is the device that he has connected to the network. Once you have this information, you may or may not already have a policy in place that defines how specific users should interact with YouTube. If not, we'll show you how easy it is to go from this visibility to policy enforcement. In either case, this new dashboard makes it very easy to see how your network resources are being used. Creating an enforcement policy to react to the information available to you in the dashboard is also very easy. Go to Configuration and select your network policy. Keep in mind this is a unified policy with a single workflow that takes you from wireless configuration to wired configuration and even through services such as routing, VPN, firewall, and Bonjour Gateway. This means that policies that you implement on your network will be enforced on the best possible device using our industry-first cooperative control protocol in HiveOS. You can choose to use the robust quality of service in HiveOS to implement priority applications and background applications, or you can outright block applications that you've deemed as harmful, non-compliant, or just non-contributors to your company business goals using the stateful firewall built into every access point. So let's go through how you would do this using quality of service configurations. So let's take a look at how you would implement this using our robust quality of service built into the access points. First, you come in here and create a classifier map that is focused on specific services. I'm going to choose application services. And then select, I'm going to search for YouTube. When I select this, I can then choose to move it to a best effort or even the background queue so that it will no longer be prioritized throughout the network. Of course, I can go through and prioritize other applications, since I mentioned Salesforce. For this application, this is part of my important network traffic, so I'm going to prioritize it. And this means that it will always be queued faster than any traffic destined for YouTube. And it's that easy to create a classifier map that will then apply that prioritization on the applications that you've selected. Something really neat that Aerohive can do is that once you've decided how you want to classify those applications with either priority or even marking them as a low priority network, you can then create a marker map which allows you to mark those packets as they're leaving the access point with standards-based 802.1p or diffserv. What this means is that the rest of your network infrastructure can then continue prioritizing or deprioritizing that traffic based on the classification that you've just created in your network policy. You can also, if you decide, use the built-in stateful firewall in the access points to create very detailed restrictions on exactly what a user can do on the network. And what you would do here is go into the firewall settings within a user profile and say, you know what, for certain groups of employees, maybe you can divide your employees more granularly than they are in this policy. Maybe your marketing department needs access to YouTube in order to upload videos or demo videos, but your sales team does not need access to YouTube during the working hours. So you can actually come in here and create a detailed policy that allows you to say, you know what, I want to block YouTube altogether for this group of users. And again, you just select the service. Again, I could type in YouTube. And choose to block it if I'd like, and then save that policy. If I decide later I want to add additional applications, I can again go back into the policy, select another line, and add an additional service in here. I want to show you how incredibly flexible this can be with applications that have more than one functionality to them. Let's take Facebook, for example. Note the granularity that I can decide what to do with this application. I can tell the difference between posting to the Facebook wall, which I may want to allow my marketing team to do for their social media efforts, and actually Facebook applications such as games. So maybe I want to prioritize the ability to get to the Facebook wall for a legitimate business purpose, but I want to either deprioritize or outright block Facebook applications such as games. And you have that level of granularity in this ability to do policy enforcement based on the application. So the important thing to note here is that while visibility alone is useful, the flexibility of the Aerohive system and the intelligence of our Hive OS devices allows you to use that visibility to quickly and easily improve the user experience on the network based on what is important to a particular group of users and the devices that they're using to connect to the network. Besides real-time visibility and monitoring, HiveManager has extensive historical reports that allow you to define trends across your network. For example, BYOD usage over time, bandwidth consumption through the seasons or around special events or holidays, and security audit information. All of these reports can be exported to a universal format such as Adobe Acrobat and emailed to any interested parties. Another excellent feature in HiveManager 6.0 is the integrated Google Maps for planner and topology. For any of you that have struggled to find accurate floor plans of your expanding enterprises, or those of you that have had to wait patiently to deliver initial coverage estimates to your valued customers, this feature makes it very easy to go from just an address to a full planner or topology configuration. Simply create a building, and type in any address. This will display the Google map of the region. I can then draw a perimeter around the building, which I want to plan. And automatically create a floor plan based on that perimeter. It will be automatically sized, and you can go now immediately, this is the access points that I want to add, or I can add additional floors. So if I want to figure out a plan for how many access points I'll need for this location, I can start from here. I could also draw additional walls if I want to add the interior walls, but if I really just need basic estimate of how many access points I would need to cover the area, if I had no interior walls, I could cover this with 2 AP121s. If I want to go in and draw additional walls, I can add, where we have cubicles, and really add a lot more detail into the estimate for these plans. This allows you to quickly and easily estimate how many access points will be required to deliver enterprise quality WLAN coverage. You can also use this for your topology maps once you've already purchased Aerohive access points, and it'll show you what your coverage is, provide rogue AP and client detection and locationing, and all of the coverage information that you would be interested in for your network. Altogether, the new features in HiveManager 6.0 and the combination of Aerohive access points, routers, and switches allows you to have unified configuration, monitoring, and troubleshooting, and a mobility-optimized access layer that delivers true wired and wireless unification and allows you to be prepared for the transition to a mobile-first enterprise. Welcome to Aerohive. Control your edge.